When it comes to Kanye West, there have been few artists as pivotal in shaping the landscape of hip-hop since the turn of the century as him. From Jay-Z's The Blueprint to Playboi Carti's Whole Lotta Red, Kanye has had a hand in making some of the most renowned hip-hop albums of every era and beyond this. Ye's own catalog and all the experimentation and boundary pushing that he has done has inspired the very biggest artists and the most popular sounds that dominate rap today. Now, because of the unmatched way that Kanye has influenced artists since his arrival on the scene, he's always been the one guy that every single rapper wants to work with. Whether it's the most revered lyricist or the most ambitious genre benders, working with Kanye West has been seen as the golden ticket to solidifying your career in hip-hop, and this is why the biggest artists in the world always tried to stay so close to him. But as time has went on and Kanye's been labeled as more unhinged, crazy, and controversial than ever, a lot of people who used to claim that they would always have Ye's back ended up turning on him. From lifelong collaborators to rappers that Kanye signed and developed from the very start of their careers, artists who once considered Kanye their brother for life have completely destroyed any association that they had with him. Now, while some of Kanye's biggest collaborators turned on him, other rappers have stood by his side and continued to work with him despite all the potential risk and fear that the music industry has towards him. So to understand why some of Kanye's most renowned running mates have abandoned him, meanwhile others have embraced him more than ever, we need to look at the state of his relationships with the artists that he has worked with most closely in his career, and in this regard, there is no better person to start with than Jay-Z. Out of every rapper that Kanye has worked with, nobody benefited more from Ye's creative presence than Jay-Z, who had so many of his most iconic songs produced by or featuring West, and on top of this, the two would of course go on to make an entire collab album in Watch the Throne. At one point, Jay-Z and Kanye West weren't just seen as rappers who worked closely together, but they were seen as an inseparable pair of people who really considered themselves to be brothers. Through everything they accomplished and went through over the years, these two swore to always have each other's back, but as time went on, their relationship began to get rocky, and between Kanye publicly calling him out to Jay-Z dissing Ye on his album 444, it looked like rap's most iconic duo had fallen apart. But after Hov appeared on Kanye's 2021 album Donda on the song Jail, it seemed like finally this duo reunited and that maybe we would finally get the long-promised Watch the Throne 2, but as Kanye went down a rabbit hole of controversies in 2022, it became clear that Jay-Z wants nothing to do with the artist he was once inseparable from years ago. Now, when it comes to why Jay-Z and even Beyonce as an extension want nothing to do with Kanye West anymore, it's because no matter what potential great music they could still create together. For artists who have been placed on as high of a pedestal and who have been making seemingly every decision of theirs recently to continue to climb up the ladder of the world's richest people, attaching your name to somebody who they tried to blackball from the industry would ruin everything that they have worked for. So at this point, as Jay-Z steps further and further away from the limelight and only continues to pop up at major industry events and places that he has personal investments in, it seems like Jay-Z will never work with Kanye again at this point, as Hov is no longer focused on being the artist he once was, as he is now using his image as more of a brand. Now, while Jay-Z has done everything to make the world forget that he was once called Kanye's big brother, one of Ye's newer proteges, Travis Scott, hasn't just remained loyal to Kanye West through everything, but he has actually embraced him now more than ever, as Ye was directly responsible for the success Travis had with his most recent album, Utopia. Between Kanye giving Travis songs that were originally supposed to be on his album Donda like Thank God and Telekinesis, to Ye having even more writing and production credits beyond this, Travis took influence from Kanye West to make Utopia into an experience that many ended up comparing to Ye's 2013 album Yeezus. And now Travis didn't just hide his admiration for Kanye with production and writers credits that would go unseen to the average listener, but he even said on Utopia's track Schizo that he is so loyal to Kanye that he will vote for him over any other presidential candidate. In addition to this, as Kanye geared up to make his grand return to the limelight leading up to the release of his album Vultures, Travis brought him out at his Circus Maximus concerts in Rome and Orlando, and with each show seeing unmatched excitement from the crowds as Travis and Kanye stood on stage together while Ye performed some of his most iconic tracks ever, with Travis praising Kanye West and talking about how he wouldn't even have a career without him. It's obvious that he will always stick by his side, as his mentorship and creative influence have helped him reach the heights he's at today. Now, Travis's loyalty to Kanye was further seen as he appeared on the Vultures track F Some and right alongside Travis. Playboi Carti featured on the track as well, and when it comes to Carti, he has become one of the closest artists to Kanye currently, as the two's creative auras seem to bring out the absolute best in one another. Now, as Kanye executive produced Playboi Carti's Whole Lotta Red back in 2020 and was really responsible for arranging the album and putting the final touches on it that would make it take over the rap world. Ever since this time period, it's been evident that Carti hasn't just benefited from Kanye's forward-thinking musical curation, but simultaneously, Carti has also been able to bring out this untapped energy from Kanye that we saw on tracks like Off the Grid from Donda, and later on both F Some and most importantly Carnival from Vultures. With this duo having a handful of fan-favorite collabs at this point, and with Ye still producing new music for Carti's own solo career as he prepares to drop his upcoming album Music, we can see that both artists benefit greatly from the other's presence, and with there being rumors that Ye and Carti still may drop their once-rumored collab album, and that we may even see Carti go on tour with Ye in the near future, it's looking like we are only going to receive more music from this duo. Now, when it comes to recent artists that Kanye has been collaborating with, there has been nobody closer to him than Ty Dolla $ign, as they have been working on not just one but 3 collab albums, and in a time where the industry was trying to blacklist Kanye, Ty stood by the artist who he has made so many great tracks with over the years, as they released music that has already changed the status quo in hip-hop. Kanye has described Ty as being the leader of the ship in this current era of his career, as he has helped the album come to fruition by recruiting new collaborators to Ye's camp, and also has made the record as versatile and dynamic as it is through his amazing vocal capabilities, which played off Kanye so naturally to create memorable hooks and performances. Now, while Ty Dolla $ign, Playboi Carti, and Travis Scott have all seemed to step in as Kanye's most prominent collaborators in this era of his career, more of his former running mates have abandoned him entirely, with the most important musical partnership lost being between Ye and Pusha T. When Pusha T signed to Good Music all the way back in 2010, his career would change forever as he became Kanye's right-hand man, being a part of all-time classic hits like Runaway and Mercy, and beyond this, Ye would take Pusha's own solo career to new heights as he produced his most successful albums like the Grammy-nominated Daytona and It's Almost Dry. The chilling demeanor and cutthroat lyrical style of Pusha T complemented Kanye's memorizing and muddied up soul loops better than most rapper-producer combos ever have, but after over a decade of successful collaborations, Push cut all ties with Kanye in 2022, leaving his Good Music label forever. Now, Push would later on say that after he unaffiliated with Good Music during the heart of Kanye's controversies in 2022, Ye stopped speaking to him, and since then, despite all the time that's passed and all the artists who have once again embraced Kanye, it seems like him and Push have had no contact with one another. Now, with Ye teaming up with Push's longtime rival Lil Wayne for an upcoming track on Vultures 2, and also working with an MC who has often been compared to Push and Freddie Gibbs, as Gibbs continues to work with Kanye and really take Push's place, it seems like we have already seen the end of Kanye and Pusha T's creative relationship, which is truly a shame considering how much great music they gave us. Now, while Kanye and Pusha T are at odds, they still have one mutual rival who continues to diss both of them in Drake, and despite Kanye and Drake seemingly making up in 2021 as they did an entire concert together where Drake even ended up crying when Kanye performed Runaway, ultimately, the OVO founder would come back less than a year later and diss Ye on his collab album with 21 Savage, Her Loss, and whether this was to generate more buzz around the album or to push away from Kanye after a series of controversies that lost him millions of dollars. Following this initial diss, Drake has only continued to come at Kanye with each new project he has released since, even after Ye tried to shut the beef down, saying that he loves Drake and has no ill will against him at this point. This hasn't stopped Drizzy from sneak dissing Ye at every chance he gets, and at this point, it really seems like Drake will be dissing Ye till the day he retires. It's really a shame because this never-ending feud has held us back from getting so much music between this duo, including a once-rumored collab album. Now, if I had to guess why Drake is still beefing with Kanye at this point, I would assume that this is a strategic move on his end to avoid any affiliation with an artist who has been labeled as a threat to the entire music industry, and while this makes sense coming from somebody whose music has been as safe and sanitized as Drake's over the past few years, it seems like a lot of his resent towards Kanye comes from Drake treating his music as more of a brand rather than art that he genuinely is passionate about creating. Although Kanye and Drake will seemingly always be at odds, one rapper who seems to always come back to Ye's side no matter how outspoken they are against one another is Kid Cudi. When it comes to Kid Cudi, him and Ye butting heads is nothing new, but after Ye exploded on him for remaining to be friends with Pete Davidson despite him dating his ex-wife Kim Kardashian, which ultimately led Cudi to say that him and Kanye would never be friends again back in 2022. Now, because of this, it was a welcome surprise to everyone when this year, Cudi actually came out and said that he and Kanye were on good terms again, and this was all because Ye actually apologized to him for the way he acted, which, as Cudi said himself, was shocking to him because Kanye never apologizes for anything he does. Now, Kanye and Kid Cudi have really been just as iconic of a duo as Jay-Z and Ye were, and having them reunited is such a win for the culture because when Ye and Cudi are making music together, they truly make some of the most powerful and healing music in all of hip-hop, and with Cudi expected to be featured on either Vultures 2 or 3 as Ye previewed a track with him on it at the Vultures listening party back in Vegas in 2023. It will be great for hip-hop to see Ye and Cudi reunited, and who knows, if this collab goes well, maybe we will eventually see Kid C Goes too. Now, while Kid Cudi and Kanye are once again reunited, another former member of Kanye's Good Music label that will never be on good terms with him again is Big Sean, and while many rappers have distanced themselves from Kanye since his controversial 2022, Big Sean's beef with Kanye goes back even before this. Now, back in a Drink Champs interview in 2021, Kanye said that signing Big Sean was the biggest mistake of his career, which was a pretty big insult to throw out. But the reason Kanye felt this way was not because of anything musically, but was because Big Sean never supported his mentor when he was running for president in 2020. Now this, along with previous tensions over canceled albums, including what was supposed to be Big Sean's own 7-song Ye-produced project back in 2018 during Kanye's Wyoming sessions, and overall other creative differences as a whole, led Sean to leave Good Music, and despite being on massive songs with Kanye years ago, at this point, it is abundantly clear that between all the failed opportunities to push his career forward and all in all, just the way that Ye treated him, that Big Sean will never be at peace with his mentor turned enemy again. Back in 2016, Kanye West teamed up with Kendrick Lamar to record the legendary track off The Life of Pablo, No More Parties in LA, and after hearing that he and Kendrick recorded 40 more songs worth of material over beats from the one and only Madlib, it sounded like we would be hearing a lot more of Ye and Kendrick together, but as time has went on, this pair has become more distant, with them never collaborating again. Although we don't know where the two's relationship stands today, Kendrick did use Kanye as one of the people portrayed in his Heart Part 5 music video, and while some consider this to be a diss, I think Kendrick used Kanye's image to merely enhance the song's narrative by connecting its story to Ye's own personal life and struggles, and considering how outspoken Ye is about anything that he doesn't like, I'd bet that Kendrick even got permission from West to do this, considering how much he has respected him as a creative for his entire career. Now, to this day, it seems like Kendrick doesn't have anything against Kanye, but as other rappers run to collaborate with him, as Ye is now making music again. Seeing how intimate, intentional, and premeditated Kendrick's last album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, was, and overall the direction he seems to be taking his career in from this point, it's evident that Kendrick and Kanye are on completely different creative paths, so we really may never see them collaborate again. Now, I wouldn't bet on Kendrick and Kanye making music anytime in the near future, but I do think that it's very likely that we see another LA rapper in Tyler the Creator work with Kanye, maybe even on Vultures 2 or 3, as through everything, Tyler has continued to be friends with Ye and even feature an entire song produced by him on his 2023 project, The Estate Sale, with the track Heaven to Me. Now, when it comes to Tyler the Creator, Kanye West has always been one of his biggest influences and mentors, and as Tyler has continued to blossom into an absolute artistic force of his own, he and Kanye have leaned on each other more, not just for features, but also for creative support and direction, which ended up giving us such things as a small Tyler the Creator feature in the background vocals of the Donda track Come to Life. Now, with Tyler recently co-signing Vultures 1, it's clear that even in a time where the industry was giving Kanye West zero promotion, Tyler is loyal to Kanye and will really support him no matter what. And when we look at rappers like him, Travis Scott, Playboi Carti, and so many of the other collaborators on Vultures, I think this really speaks to how all of them feel about Kanye West. Despite an industry that has been trying to sabotage Ye's new music from being successful since the day it dropped. Whether it's collaborators that we have seen on the album, or people who have recently praised the project like Tyler, or even Childish Gambino, who just called Ye the greatest rapper of all time. From the way it is today, it's clear that for the most part, rappers are and always will be compelled to work with Kanye West because over everything else about him, what defines him most is that he's one of the most gifted artists that the music world has ever seen, and the chance to work with him is truly once in a lifetime. With people like Jay-Z and Drake avoiding Kanye at all costs these days, meanwhile creatives like Cardi, Travis, and Tyler seem to be bigger fans of him than ever. You can see that the artists who currently want to make the most powerful and impactful music don't even hesitate to support Ye. Meanwhile, rappers who are less focused on the music itself and more on being the face of a brand stay as far away from him as possible, as there is simply too much for them to lose. So whether you love or hate him, Kanye's influence and one-of-a-kind artistic ability has made him inseparable from hip-hop and the music world, and as long as he continues to create, the best and brightest rappers will always follow him till the very end. Now, if you want to see my video on just how impactful Kanye's music legacy has been as I rank all of his albums from worst to best, check out the suggested video.